Ladies and gentlemen, the Bitcoin charts right now aren't completely complex at all. And so after we dive into them, we're going to take this opportunity to look into some structural trends where very interesting things are occurring, suggesting this could be basically the last little stop before a parabolic bull run ensues, right? So we'll look at the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap chart, which is the total cryptocurrency market cap chart minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. Gives us a great view of what altcoins are doing. And then we'll also look at the Ethereum chart. Now, both of these charts are going to be extremely relevant, especially as Bitcoin loses dominance in the market and altcoin season ensues. But before we look into any of these things, right, because they're extremely important, I'm going to show you where we are right now. We're literally on the edge of glory, according to these historical trends. Before we do that, let's just take a brief little 30-second look at Bitcoin here. Really nothing has happened at all the last week on Bitcoin. It's just the same kind of stuff here, same price action in the same range. If we want to break Bitcoin down very simply right now, all we need to do is this. We draw this chart here. We've got 2 yellow lines and 2 red lines. One of the red lines over here is the all-time high. One of them is 57K, which is the nearest support zone underneath 61.3K. 61.3K, this yellow line I just circled there, is the monthly candle close support zone. And over here at 69K, that's our weekly candle close level. So we've got 2 very important levels in red, which are the major resistance zones of the range, and then our major support zone below the range. And then we've got the monthly candle level over here and the weekly candle level over here. Very simple analysis here. If Bitcoin breaks 69K, we will go to an all-time high. We'll go to that red line. And if Bitcoin breaks below 61.3K properly, we will go to 57K. That's really all you need to know about the Bitcoin short term right now. It is excruciatingly boring. I could spend 10 minutes analyzing it, but it would basically not mean anything because at the end of the day, Bitcoin's not doing anything right now. It will do something eventually, probably very soon. I see Bollinger Bands, for example, tightening quite heavily. I see lots of things tightening quite heavily that suggest Bitcoin will be doing something within the next week. I mean, at this point, hopefully within the next 3 days, but we'll have to wait and see there. So we're moving away from Bitcoin in this video, just like we did yesterday. And we're looking at the fact that while everyone's getting bored and everyone's kind of losing hope, right? People are kind of getting a bit pessimistic, I've noticed, over the last month and a half, because it has been basically 2 months of ranging here. People are getting very pessimistic. They're starting to flip bearish. I've actually done a couple of community polls, and within those community polls, we see quite large numbers of people saying, for example, Bitcoin will be below 60K this time next week, 32%. 42% of people think Bitcoin will have not moved, basically, so above 60K, below 70K. And then only 25% of people are actually bullish on Bitcoin in the short term. But even, looking into other polls that I've done in the past, so you can go back on my YouTube community posts here and go back on them. You can see that over time, just diminishing amount of people being bullish. Obviously, the majority of people are still bullish, but right now, I really want to take this time to remind you that the structural trends are very much intact, right? And we've looked at Bitcoin over and over and over again. Let's mix it up here. Let's look at the altcoin market cap chart. Let's look at Ethereum, okay? They're doing very interesting things. They're copying exactly basically what they did in the last cycle. So let's look into that, right? We have Ethereum, the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, right? Excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the altcoin market cap chart essentially here, having kind of a 5-step pattern that it did in the last cycle, being copied exactly right now with the bull market support band. Let's explain this chart right now and see where we are. Right, what we can see, we had the bull market top, we came downwards, we found our bottom, okay? That was step 1. The bottom was step 1. We went upwards, okay? We found a kind of a high here during the bear market still, rejected from that level, came back down, found a lower, a higher low, I should say, right here. Then we had step 3, which was consolidating, okay? We had a consolidation period right here in step 3 on top of the bull market support band. And we can actually even go ahead and draw in another line there. Not only was that consolidation period on top of the bull market support band, but it was roughly on top of a neckline that divided the bull market from the bear market here on the total 3 market cap chart. You can see right there, that pink line. And then from that neckline and bull market support band bouncing, we bounced upwards to step 4. We saw our second period of consolidation, again on the bull market support band. And then we entered a parabolic bull market, breaching all-time highs and reaching a bull market top, essentially. And that bull market top came basically 300 days after we exited phase 4, right? Which was this second consolidation here on the bull market support band. Now we look at what's happening right now. We see a very, very similar pattern, okay? We see the bottom right here, step 1, step 2, we moved upwards for a little peak. We came downwards back again. We formed a higher low. We entered step 3 where we consolidated on top of the bull market support band. We entered step 4 where we're consolidating above the bull market support band once again. And we're just on the doorstep of entering step 5, which was, in the last cycle, a parabolic bull market, and will be the same thing, most likely, in this cycle as well, if we're going to copy this trend, a parabolic bull market. Now, we are on step 4 currently. We're consolidating on that bull market support band, consolidating on the same level, in the same exact vague structural pattern that we saw throughout 2018 all the way through to 2021. It's kind of repeated, it's replaying again. We're moving a little bit faster this time, but for the most part, the structural trend is intact. And the next step in this structural trend is literally a parabolic bull market to new all-time highs on this chart. There is fundamentally no difference between the pattern we saw here in the last cycle and the pattern we are seeing right now. And we are on the cusp, according to this trend, right, of a move blasting through all-time highs. So that's great news, right? Then we look at the Ethereum chart and we see it's supporting this theory, right? So Ethereum chart, a bit more complex here, but similar kind of structural pattern. We've got an 8-step pattern this time. So for example, step 1, we saw our all-time high. Step 2, we saw a dead cat bounce. Step 3, we dropped below our pink neckline. And then we found the bottom. Step 4, we broke above bull market support band, rejected from that pink neckline. Step 5, we found a higher low. Step 6, we consolidated above the neckline and on top of the bull market support band. Step 7, we saw some brief consolidation on top of the bull market support band once again. Step 8, we enter a parabolic bull market, break all-time highs, okay? And then it resets. We go to step 1, topping out, dead cat bounce, bottom, rejecting from the neckline, higher low. Step 6, consolidating on the neckline of the bull market support band. And again, step 7, consolidating on the bull market support band before a blast off to new all-time highs on Ethereum, okay, and a parabolic bull market. We are in, okay, the final step before a parabolic bull market on the Ethereum chart and also on the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap chart. Okay, now this obviously, you could find these trends existing on the Bitcoin chart as well and on a lot of altcoins. The point I'm trying to make here is that by all means, by all metrics of historical structural analysis, Bitcoin is on the, and cryptocurrency as a whole, is on the edge of glory, quite literally. We are at the last kind of boring corrective stage before a parabolic bull market to the upside, right? Now, what does that mean? It means that we should be preparing for that bull market. And it also means that because we have these structural trends telling us we are on the edge of glory, okay, we also know that if we do deviate here, and if we do start to correct excessively, we know these structural trends are garbage, and we know we should throw them out and heavily de-risk from the market. So this is not just a video that I'm making to say, oh, I'm super, super bullish and you should be too, because that's a little bit low IQ in my opinion. It's a video saying that the historical trends are telling us we're on the edge of a parabolic bull market. That's great. We should prepare for that. But if we don't see it, right, we will know very easily and very quickly, because all we need to see to not see that parabolic bull market or for that to be invalidated is a breakdown from this structural trend. And then we know to sell everything and get out of the market. So not only is this kind of, well, I guess you could say it's bullish propaganda in a way, but it's also, it's giving you the insight into the worst case scenario, which is that this historical trend is invalidated, in which case you should get the hell out of the market. So it's good to look at these historical trends for that reason. It's not just feeding the bulls hopium, or it's actually giving you a lot of insight as well into a bad scenario and what you should do in that case. But right now, according to these structural trends on the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap chart and on the Ethereum chart, we are literally on the edge of a parabolic bull market. And the reason why I look at these charts specifically is because I believe an altcoin season is coming next. I could look at the Bitcoin chart and you'll probably find the same thing. But I look at, for example, Bitcoin dominance, and I know for a fact that Bitcoin dominance is either topped out or close to topping out. I've said that Bitcoin dominance will top out within this red box. We touched the bottom of that red box. We've headed downwards now. We've seen the halving and the Bitcoin breaking all-time highs, which historically has been an indicator of Bitcoin dominance starting to drop. So I believe that, again, Bitcoin dominance has either topped or is close to topping, maybe one more move to the upside. And so obviously when Bitcoin dominance drops, you see an altcoin season, and seeing as I think that is basically the next move for Bitcoin dominance, or at least coming very, very soon, I think that the Ethereum chart and the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap chart are actually a lot more relevant in certain ways than the Bitcoin chart when it comes to making large returns. The Bitcoin chart is very good and very useful for us in identifying when the entire cryptocurrency market will top in general. But when it comes to these altcoin season euphoric bull market phases, you really want to be looking at Bitcoin dominance, you really want to be looking at Ethereum, you really want to be looking at the total cryptocurrency market cap charts and stepping away from Bitcoin for the most part, especially on short term. Bitcoin is much more of a macro indicator in those euphoric bull markets. So anyway, without getting too deep into that, I just wanted to show you those structural trends there that literally do say outright point blank that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole is moments away, really, in the larger scheme of things, from blasting off to a euphoric bull market, and also warning you that if that does not happen, right? If that does not happen, if that is not the next move, then that's very, very, very bad, and we will have to heavily consider de-risking. So let's wait and see what happens, but it's very promising information right now, and I'm very excited to see what happens next. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and check out the BingX and BitGet exchanges, my referred exchanges for this YouTube channel. I've got my referral links down below. Those are promotional sign-up links, so you can sign up with those links to get 15% trading fee discounts on either exchange. I highly recommend you do that. It helps the channel and it helps you by getting on a cheap exchange, a very safe exchange that's never been hacked before. So go ahead and use those links down below. Then we've got the bull market sale for the Crypto Academy. If you want to learn how to trade in time for the bull market, this is your time to do it. That's why we're running a bull market sale, right? We're trying to get as many people in that course as possible to teach people how to trade so that they can take advantage of this bull market in full force. So check that out if you're interested into educational course. And then finally, if you want guidance within the bull market, or you want trading plans, trading signals, you can do so with Wolves of Crypto VIP. I've got the VIP group there on Telegram. We post 4 to 5 trading signals a week with a 77% win rate over the course of 18 months. So check that out as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.